Good morning. You're joining Kathy Davis, myself, and our amazing authors from Engaging Experts. We are holding our celebration day in honor of our #1 international best-selling book, Engaging Experts. We have most of our authors with us today, and many of them will be interviewing each of them. Many of them will also be offering prizes. If you are on the call, let's see, Julie, are you where you can show us a sample of what our little wheel looks like, our prize wheel?
That's it.
The wheel of winners, that's what this is. So this is all the people that have registered for today's call. And as they join us, each of our speakers will be giving away something at the end of our little discussions. And as someone wins something, their name comes off of that wheel. So the longer you're on the call, the more likely you are, the greater your odds of winning something. And we'll also be giving away some of the Engaging Expert books. I'll be doing that myself. So thank you, Julie Hoey. We have two Julies today. So first, I'd like to introduce Julie Hood. I've known Julie for, I don't know, at least a decade. I even forget where we first met. But Julie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up here on this celebration day with us today.
Yeah, so I'm Julie Hood from CourseCreatorsHQ.com. And first, I just want to say thank you to all of our readers who purchased a book. This was so exciting. So thank you. I hope you all are enjoying the book so as much as we enjoyed putting it together for you. I know you, Kathy, and I was counting up. I think my daughter was about 3 years old when we met. So she's 19 now, so it's 16 years. Yeah, so thanks for getting me this. It's been a blast.
So Julie, I know you help people create online e-courses. How would someone get started if they were thinking about an e-course?
Right. So the first thing that I really like people to start thinking about is what is some topics that I'm interested in, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're an expert at. And that's sort of what my chapter was about, is how sometimes we learn the most from the folks who are just a few steps ahead of us. So I like my instructors to think about what the people that they're talking to, what is it you can help them with, and trying to figure out, okay, what is something that will just wow them, especially for those of you who are in business. Using an online course can be a really fantastic way to build your email list. If you can give away a free mini course for folks and just help them to learn something directly from you, that can be a really great way to build a connection, because they get to see you, they get to talk to you in the course and learn directly from you.
So what types of courses have you helped people build? I know I met someone the other day, he's in real estate and he has an online course.
Exactly, yeah. So it goes a complete gamut of courses. So I'll give you a few examples. One person that I work with, she created 4 videos, an introduction video, plus 3 more meditation videos. She helps folks with meditation. And so we took it from there and put together her whole course for her. She's using that as a mini course to get people signed up. And I have another person who she's primarily doing her course through a Facebook group. It's a very interactive kind of course. And so we work through, she's doing a 10-day challenge that she helps people with their money mindset, and it's all in Facebook. It's very interactive. So it's kind of all over the place, but anything that you want to share or that you're like to give to your audience, it's really a fun way to connect with them and get to know them a little bit more.
Now, do I need to have an existing list in order to benefit from having an online course?
No, you don't. It's a good idea to sort of get started building your list as you were thinking about doing a course, because it's always fun when you do have some folks that you can be emailing and saying, hey, I'm working on this, it's coming. But if you don't, it's okay. We all have connections on social media. So you can go into LinkedIn and talk about what you're doing. You can go into Facebook and share the latest update. You know, I'm working on lesson 3 and we're talking about this, and I can't wait to share it with my audience. That kind of building the anticipation can really be fantastic for when you finally launch.
So what is the most out of the box course that you have helped someone create?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a good question. Well, this one's kind of unique, but very interesting, I think. One of my clients helps people get ready to make it easier when they pass away for their descendants to figure out where is everything, you know, where are all the passwords, what are all the things that I need to do. So she put together a whole course to help you make that so much easier on your children and your the people who are left. So I thought that was a really unusual sort of course, but very needed, you know.
It
Any of
is.
us who have gone through that with a parent or grandparent and trying to pull together, you know, where's the password to the bank account and all those kind of things.
No, that's awesome. That gives us a great idea of the expanse of how you can help a lot of diverse topics, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I understand you have a gift for a giveaway today.
Yes, and I actually have forgotten what I told you guys I was going to give away. So I'll just give
You can
away.
make something up or I can read it, whatever you want.
I'll just make something up. I think it's better. So I have a course called the 24-hour course creator, and it lets folks put together a course in 24 hours. So you can do like an hour a day for a few weeks, or you can do a 3-day weekend and do like 3 8-hour days and get your first course finished. So I have a DIY version of that, and I will give it to our winner today. So I'm hoping.
So Julie Hoey, I think we're ready for our wheel.
Yes. Who gets to win?
Yay, we have a winner. Yay.
Ashmat. All right.
We'll make sure that you get connected to this person.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
To our winner. Let's see, are they on the call today yet? If you were on the call, Hashmat. Not yet. Okay, awesome.
Yet. But congratulations, because he may watch the
right, exactly. Awesome. Well, Julie, thank you so much for being here with us today. I know you're helping a lot of people create some awesome courses, and if anybody has any questions, there will be a follow-up email. We'll send the links to a spotlight page where all the authors are listed and all their contact information and how to get hold of them. So thanks for being here, Julie.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And thanks again to everybody for all the readers of the book. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Moria, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for coming. I know we met, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years ago. It's been a while, but I think we originally crossed paths at Rise Collaborative in Clayton, which is a woman's workspace, I guess is the best. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do, please.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Like Julie said, we're so excited to have you here today and excited that you have been reading our anthology. So again, I'm Dr. Maria Cockrell. I am the founder of Why Not Consulting here in St. Louis. And Why Not Consulting offers consulting and coaching services and also some educational offerings. So that is a little about my company, and specifically my chapter is the SDOH Solutionary. So some of the areas of my expertise that I like to talk about or coach about are human resource development, health management, health professions education, DEI, and belongingness. I'm a huge component and advocate of just belongingness in the DEI space, and also a little bit about spiritual care.
I love that. So tell me a little bit more about this SDOH Solutionary. Is it a program? Is it do I get educated? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I've actually been talking to Julie about some courses and education.
Yay,
So hopefully
yay.
that will be coming in the near future, but it's really a
Mhm.
way to describe yourself. So you might have heard of a solutionary. And so that's someone that's more than a problem solver, but specifically a SEOH solutionary really views the world and different problems as unsuitable and unsustainable and looks at everything as interconnected and interrelated as it relates to the social determinants of health. So if you heard of the social determinants of health, and if you haven't, it's really economic stability, education, your neighborhood environment, your health, and your social community. So it's really all of those components that aren't direct patient care that still influence your overall health and well-being. So a SEOH solutionary does not look at you in a silo, but looks at what are all the supports and services you need to really have a great and whole life and really improve your well-being.
So is your target audience primarily communities, or do you also work with individuals?
So it's interesting. I work with individuals, communities, and organizations. So a little bit for the individual solutions, that's primarily with coaching. So for example, if we're looking at career coaching and trying to find someone a job, not only do we want to find someone a job that fits their skill sets, their experience and passion, but we also need to look at to make sure that the job pays a living wage so that can live in a safe environment. They can live in an area that has a great school district if they have family to care for, and even
Mhm.
looking at the benefits for your dependents. So that's something that we take into account when looking at a job, and also finding a company that, has great professional development programming. So analyzing, do they have tuition reimbursement, what is that percentage that's covered, but really making sure it's not just a job, but helping you find that career and vocation. So that's something that we look at on an individual level. Now, for an organization, and I talk about it in my chapter, kind of the GLOW framework, that's really looking at DEI and going forward on how you can truly make that impact with the community. So when it comes to employee engagement, that's something that I really focus on. For organizations, we look at maybe creating employee volunteerism programs, because that can only also help with disengagement of the employees, but it's a way to give back to the community. And one thing that organizations overlook is, what do the employees, like, how do they spend their time outside of work? Are they volunteering for the food pantry? Are they involved in, say, Urban League? So it's showing that you care about the person even when they're not at work. And studies show that that can improve engagement. So that's kind of a solution that I look at for organizations, really building out, their DEI programming and looking at corporate social responsibility. But then also, Why Not is definitely big on community involvement. And so Why Not is known for our annual Side Hustle Honors event. And so that really targets individuals that work a 9 to 5, but also pursue entrepreneurship. And so through that award ceremony, we offer recognition and build community for those that need a little bit of support balancing a day job and entrepreneurship. So again, like being the SUH solutionary, we have to look at
Mhm.
everything as interconnected and interrelated. So our solutions can definitely target you wherever you are, individual, organization, or community-wide.
That's awesome. So are some of your services perhaps, can they be underwritten by a community or the corporation for the individual?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So some organizations might want executive coaching for their leaders. Something else that is great that we work with, even insurance companies, when it comes to an area of legacy coaching. So that's an area that kind of mixes the human resources and the spiritual care, looking at the impact that you leave in an organization. So definitely organizations can hire Why Not to help promote that one-on-one coaching and support that they might need, especially if they're a smaller organization that might not have an actual HR development or organizational development department.
Awesome. Now, I understand you also have a gift for our audience today.
Yes, I have a 1 hour coaching session. So we could go about career coaching, legacy coaching, executive coaching. You just let me know what you're interested in. But yeah, it's valued at $185. And I'm very excited to work with one of you.
That's awesome. And what was the title of your chapter again?
The SUH Solutionary.
Yeah, awesome. So again, Maria's contact information will be on our um, author highlight page with all of our other authors, and that will follow up in an email after the event. with a link to today's recording. So Julie, let's spin our wheel of fortune for a conversation with Moria. I didn't hear the applause before. That's fun. Yeah. So Francis, if you're here today, congratulations. If you get the recording, congratulations. And we'll make sure we connect the two of you. The other thing that we tell our winners is that if you happen to win a prize that might not be a good fit for you, we encourage them to pay it forward. And if they're not sure how to pay it forward, we ask them to contact back either Julie or Julie Hoey or myself, and we will help them find a way to pay it forward. So our goal is to make sure that all of the gifts that we're giving, especially time and services today that we're giving away, don't go unused. So we'll make sure that those find a place to land. Moria, thank you so much for being a part of the book and for being here today.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to working with Francis.
Awesome. Cindy Rowan, awesome. So I understand you've had a bit of a crazy morning, but I'm glad you could make it today and be here with us this morning. So thank you.
Thank you for being flexible.
Glad we could work it out. Yeah. So tell us, give us a short little intro and the title of your chapter, please.
Hi, my name is Cindy Rowan, and I'm delighted, first of all, thank you, Kathy, so much for giving me this great opportunity to be a part of yet another one of your anthologies, and the opportunity to be with this distinguished group of authors, and great for everyone that purchased the book, and look forward to hearing and having some dialogue around things. I'm the president of my company, Performance Management Solutions. Hard to believe, over 25 years. And my wheelhouse is leadership development, which I have a very, very strong passion for. So I really work with organizations, and I do a lot of consultation work. I help them create cultures where they develop leaders at all levels. And what was very exciting about, I'm going to say now about 6 years ago, I started another business, Performance Management Solutions in higher education, realizing that there's a lot of folks in higher education that could benefit from developing leaders internally that work within the organization. So that's what drove me really to write in this chapter, leadership development, and really debunking the myths and looking at new ways to impact the organization and create leaders at all levels.
How has your work been impacted by the last 10 months? Are you more active? Are people reaching out to you to try and get a sense of balance within their organization?
Well, you know, it's really interesting that you asked me that, because when things hit, I guess last March, I was in the middle of a lot of instructor-led leadership development initiatives within organizations and a lot of consulting work. And I thought, okay, it's over, it's done. We're going to put this all on the back burner. And what I was really pleasantly surprised is that not only the organizations wanted to move forward, but the individuals wanted to move forward, which really required, I don't even call it pivot anymore. It's like swivel, you're in a swivel chair, is helping people take leadership in a different direction. It's things we might not traditionally think about, engaging with people and leading others remotely, really engaging our leadership skills where empathy is the #1 topic right now in that whole wheelhouse. So it's really shifting. And the last 10 months, believe it or not, has really accelerated things, that people are thriving for this. They're looking for solutions, and people looking up to step up as leaders. And again, leadership has nothing to do with title and position. It has everything to do with influencing and engaging with others.
Right. So has a lot of your training switched to online temporarily?
Actually, I think that this is going to be the wave of the future. I think it's going to be more, once we get back, I think it might be more blended learning. I'm a huge proponent that if we're interacting with folks on soft skills, we need a little bit of that in person when we're allowed to engage with folks. But how do we use those skills in a remote way? We really have to be more conscious of engaging with people and actually being on Zoom and different platforms. It's much more intimate than some people might realize when you're engaging and doing training and development.
Yeah, I have noticed that also. So you have such a wonderful plethora of expertise, I guess is the big word that I can come up with. So I understand you also have a gift to share today. Would you like to share that with our audience?
I do. I'm very excited. I'd like to offer actually the option of two different gifts. One would be a leadership development checkup, which would be for an organization or a department. Or if it's an individual contributor, I'd like to offer a consultation and a assessment, which is the DISC Work of Leaders assessment. So either one is fine with me, and I'd be very excited to work with whomever wins this prize.
Terrific.
That is-
Julie, we are ready to roll or spin, I guess. Is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Ah, so close. Congratulations, Sandy.
Yay for Sandy. I
Awesome.
look forward to working with her.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy, so much for being a part of the book and being a part of today. And I hope your day is an awesome day.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So let's see. We have Miss Kelly Nagel. Come on down.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Kelly. So I met Kelly through Connie. So I guess Connie couldn't be here today.
I think everybody met somebody through Connie.
Yeah, everybody has met somebody through Connie. I know. Yeah. If you know Connie, you're going to meet a lot of people. That's awesome. So fantastic. Thanks for being a part of the book and being here today. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the title of your chapter.
Sure. The title of my chapter is Journey from Rock Bottom. And I'll start there because I think that will tell everyone a little bit more about myself and where I am right now. I shared my experience of some very difficult personal experiences where I found myself at proverbial rock bottom. And I had two choices. You continue just as things are, or you make some transformational change and emerge stronger. And so I took a journey on self-discovery, personal development, and learning critical skills that I find were not taught as you're growing up. They're not taught in school how to communicate, self-empowerment, self-worth, but skills that are absolutely critical to really live confidently and fully every day. And so it was a difficult, but it was a difficult journey, but one I'm very grateful for. And it really brought me to a place where I've embraced the idea of personal development, and I see how critical it is and how life-changing it was for me. And I've now been able to share my experience and my knowledge and my enthusiasm for it with others. And so I'm the founder and chief impact officer, Uncharted, which is an inspiring community to help clients navigate life's challenges that are inevitable, and to find their confidence and fulfill their life's purpose. And it's my passion and my privilege to be able to work with individuals who are motivated to advance in their personal and professional lives and live with courage and find the best version of themselves. And so I'm thrilled that I get to do that every day. And I will say that I've also merged my passion of social justice to be the co-founder of the Teen Think Tank Project, which is focused on developing high school students to become effective future change makers.
Awesome. So it sounds like you are definitely living, what is it? What's the phrase? Walking your talk and living exactly from the core of your heart. So I know a part of your business also focuses on executives. Can you share a story how you have helped, what's a good word, an executive leader work through a challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. So my experience before I became a founder of my companies was I was in the nonprofit world for over a decade in executive levels. And I understand that you can't show up fully at work until you have that inner confidence and you feel self-empowered. And when you do that, you can really make effective changes in the workplace. And so because I've lived that experience, that's the clientele that I tend to gravitate towards and who gravitate towards me. But just an example of one of the clients that I've worked with, she's an amazing person, incredibly gifted, but was not realizing her full potential, maybe questioning her confidence about stepping into a higher role, applying for the next level role. And so we spoke, and I helped her find her confidence that she was incredibly qualified for this position. We fought through some of the fear that she was experiencing. I was a thought partner to her in breaking down what changes to anticipate and how to overcome some obstacles and concerns, and really helping her find her own empowerment. And she took the position, and as I knew she would, she was a rock star. And you know, she was very grateful to that. Without that conversation and that support, she probably would have succumbed to some fear and not stepped into a role that she found she was enjoying and qualified for.
You mentioned the word fear. Do you have specific tools that you use to help people identify their fear and then work through that or walk away from it?
Yeah, so fear is a tricky thing. It's always present, and I think if you're not aware of it or not aware of the tools of how to manage it, it takes over. And I say that as somebody who lived that experience for years. You say
Mhm.
no to promotions or new opportunities, or you keep your status quo because you're afraid of change. And to so really be able to identify when fear is coming up and affecting your psyche and your thought process and holding you back, and then the tools to work through it. Fear's there to validate concerns, but it shouldn't be your barrier to advancement or to achieving the things that you want. You just had to figure out how to manage it in a logical and smart way.
Mhm. That's awesome. So, um, we've talked about leadership on from a corporate level. With your one-on-one clients, I know you've talked a little bit about creating workshops or creating interactive programs that people can connect with you and sign up for. Can you, without giving away the whole show, can you tell us a little bit about what might perhaps some of the benefits of working with you in terms of these group projects that you're um, putting together? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I love being around a positive community. I think it's everything. You want to be with the people who you want to emulate and look like, and that gets you excited and keeps you positive. That's everything. One less barrier that you have to overcome if you're surrounded by people who just don't think that things are achievable. And so what I really envision is building that community for people who are self-motivated, who do want to continue to advance and learn and grow and reach their goals, and have it be incredibly supportive and empowering. 'Cause our individual experiences might be different, but the themes are very similar. We face challenges, we face uncharted waters, which is where
Mhm.
my company comes from. Is we're thrown into these uncharted territories that we're not necessarily equipped to navigate, but we can learn and we can support each other. And I've been through it, and so I want to help others get through that uncharted territory to a place where they feel fulfilled and confident and grounded and can continue to show up as their best selves in their personal lives and their professional lives. And this speaks to my social justice activism and my love of political science. But I think when we
Mhm.
do that as a society, we create a better, stronger, more positive, just world. And ultimately, I would like to make my own impact in some way on the betterment of society.
That's awesome. That's a great segue to sharing your gift with us today.
Yes. So really excited to offer a consulting slash coaching session with me to talk about what you're passionate about and how you're going to get there, or maybe figure out what are you passionate about, what gets you excited and will make you feel fulfilled, and hopefully put you on a path to achieving that.
That's awesome. So Julie, let's see who our winner is today. After this, I'm going to try out for a game show on TV. Carrie Holloway, awesome. I think she was there. That's fun. I think Carrie is with us today. So congratulations, Carrie. And we'll connect the two of you. Kelly, thank you so much for being a part of our program today and part of the book. It was exciting to have you be a part of it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to be among an amazing community in the book and today too. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Kelly, for being here. Miss Joanne Weiland, come on down. Let's take you off mute. You can unmute on your end, I think. There we go. Hi. Thank you. Another East Coast representative for us today. Awesome. So let's see. Tell us a little bit of your intro, and then what was the title of your chapter?
Well, I'm Joanne Weiland, Why Land When You Can Fly, and I created Link to Expert in 2007, and the title of my chapter is Go for the Green. And
Go for the green. Yeah, awesome.
Participating in the book as well as all the people that are reading it. So we really appreciate you and thank you.
Yeah. So again, I believe I was introduced to you through Connie
Yes.
or Rebecca, or maybe both. And tell us a little bit about how Link to Experts helps speakers, trainers, authors, and experts get connected with people around the world.
Well, what I learned a long time ago, probably 20 years ago, one of my mentors taught me, because I was a connector. I've always been a connector. I always knew lots of people, and I thought that was like the solution for everything. And he's like, Joe, it doesn't matter how many people you know. It matters how many people know you and what you can do for them. And that just changed my world, just because of the fact that, when you know all these people and you think that that's the answer and that you can reach out to them. Well, how could you reach out to all of them if you are like me, a connector that has, tens of thousands of people in multiple databases? So anyway, so that's when my wheels started turning to figure out how we could actually let people know what these types of, like you just described, speakers, consultants, coaches, team builders, trainers, facilitators, authors, basically anybody that wants to be known as the authority, as the expert, and not just who they are, but what they can do for them. Because I've learned from traveling and working with executives all over the world, they really don't care what you do until they need what you do. But if you don't also let them know what you can do for them beforehand, sometimes they don't even know they need you. So that might sound confusing, but it's basically that you have to consistently and frequently stay in front of them in different ways like this today to let people know what you can do for them. Because a lot of times, if that's not in their wheelhouse, if they're not understanding that, and many executives and entrepreneurs work in their business, not on their business. So we really need to communicate to them why they would want to hire us and what would be the benefits of it. Does that make sense?
Mostly, yeah. And I also know what you do. So I know you have a platform with your website that allows people, one, to get to know each other, but it also allows speakers and trainers to access people who might hire them. And then at the same time, you have members within your network who are looking for those speakers and trainers to help them, much like many of the people that we have on the call today, whether they're leadership or organizational or individual trainers, coaches, those types of things. What do you typically, can you give us a short little story about how you have made a connection between those two entities and it's turned into a success?
Well, what I also found out, even though experts are good at something, they have a specific area of expertise, that doesn't mean they're an expert at everything. None of us are. And so we all actually need each other. And so the collaborative cloud community we created, Link to Expert, in 2007 was designed so that you could find the expert, check out their credentials, and hire them in minutes. Because this process traditionally takes months. And by the time usually they would be ready to hire them, either another project came up that was more pressing or something happened. So we learned that time was of the essence. And that's why, again, we let everybody know what you do ahead of time by sending out information in many, many different ways. Blogs, articles, videos. We actually have over 84,000 blogs, articles, videos, interviews, and everything on Link to Experts, so you can find out about these people. But you'd want to also have your whole team who's ever deciding. Sometimes it's a board of directors, sometimes it's a committee that's deciding if that person is the right expert for your project, and to be able to give the thumbs up or thumbs down quickly. So when you look at their Links to Expert website, the experts website within our web portal, they can find out everything about that person in one place and quickly decide if that's the right candidate for their project.
Or at least they would be able to then reach out to that person. Yeah.
Right. And then they contact them directly. You know.
Yeah. I was explaining what you did to someone the other day, and I used the analogy of you're like the icing on the cupcake. So, you have the experts that are out there doing their thing individually, but as they connect through your portals, your Link to Experts, it gives them that extra little the icing on the cupcake, so that what was it, over 300,000 additional connections that you have within your network?
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely.
Yes. I think of it as like that. I like that too, but the self-reliant experts, but that they also want to work independently to reach many more people. Because, most people are talking about building your list. Well, when you join Link to Expert, you can go from how many ever are in your list, which many people have 100 or 1,000 people, to the magazine Kathy and I are working on together will go out to 317,000 people. So
that's awesome.
It just helps you get exposure to the masses of the people that can hire you.
So what is your gift today to help one of our lucky attendees today?
Actually, we gave 2 secrets for a successful marketing campaign and creating your own one sheet. So I don't know if you,
Julie, we're ready.
Heather,
you want give it to the same person or 2 different people?
I think 2 different people, but it's up to you, Kathy.
I think we're good with that. Julie, we're ready to spin.
So the first one will be the secret for a successful marketing campaign.
So this is the secrets of a successful marketing campaign. It's a $497 value. Diane Finistad. Awesome. Yay, Diane. That's awesome. And then the second one is how to create a one sheet, a $297 value, to Lorna Gibbar. Awesome. Awesome. So Joanne, we'll connect you with those 2 winners. Thank you so much for being a part of the book and being with us today. I lost your face there you are on my grid.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
We're bouncing around. Thank you. So Dr. Glenn, I saw you. There you are. Welcome. I'll let you unmute yourself, I think. Actually, there we go.
Hi, everybody.
Too many buttons. Yeah, awesome.
All right. Well, I think it's 12:30. So good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, in the Midwest, yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the name of your chapter.
All right. Well, my name is Dr. Glenn Miller. I'm a Chicago native, born and raised there. And my chapter is called The Ace of All Trades. Now, this chapter, so poetically picked, comes from the term the Jack of all trades, the master of none. Right. And we've all heard of it before, and we've all struggled with it before. And I decided to use this for 2 primary reasons. Something that we probably all familiar with. We've been typecast before. We've experienced this in some type of way, shape, or form. And then we also have to deal with imposter syndrome as well because of that. Right. And these correlate very well. And I talk about that in the chapter, how you start a job somewhere. It's same thing with me. The moment you walk in, you have 5 seconds to impress someone, and that's the lasting memory that they have of you, right? Like I said, I'm from Chicago. I grew up from the South Side. I did not come from the best of neighborhoods, but I've had to learn how to reformat myself and change my messages so many times just so that no one would look at me and identify me as like, like, oh, poor child, or, maybe uneducated or something like that, right? Then I've had so many different jobs after that. I started off working at Walgreens and White House stores.
Mhm.
My White House was my first job. And when I wanted to get another job, you know what they said? Well, do you have any experience in this? How could you add to that?
Mhm.
Right? We've helped that before. And it's like, well, how do I get experience if I'm not if I
If I
don't get the
can't get
job?
experience, yeah.
Right? And so my chapter identifies a new age of, and I won't call them intra and entrepreneurs, right? These are people that's going to work not just for the sake of working, but they're really trying to get a financial stability for themselves and a freedom, and how they have to overcome those two things, how they have to overcome being typecast, right? And how they have to identify with their value. Overall is learning how to communicate your why more than what it is
Mhm.
than what you do. And I think that's highly important. Why I do this is because, simply put, I am fascinated with the term wellness. That's why I call myself the wellness doctor. I am fascinated by the ability to live beyond just a state of disease, but purposely trying to better your lifestyle. We all love being around people who purposely are trying to do better, right? They're not just reacting to uh, something that just happened to them. They're not just reacting to a bad day. They're intentional about making progress. And that is what a well-designed wellness plan looks like. And that is what the Ace of Spades, the Ace of all trades
Mhm.
is working on, right? That is the identify that. So I call these people neopreneurs, and neopreneurs are ready to change their outcome. They're ready to march forward. You have a bunch of neopreneurs right here. And I mean, oh my God, these authors are amazing. The stories that you're sharing are simply amazing. And I am blown away by the charisma, by the expertise, and the diligence that everyone has been showing so far.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic project. And I love that you connect that mind, body, spirit, because your wellness is in all three aspects, all three corners. And even though you are a trained chiropractor, a highly well-trained chiropractor, I'm guessing you probably went to Logan here in St. Louis. Yeah.
Yes,
Of course,
I
that's where all
started
the
off
best
there.
trained come from.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about what is this gift you have for our audience today?
perfect.
And
So
I'm just upset I can't win it, but that's okay. Go ahead.
so this gift, I've created a workbook, a lifestyle workbook, and I'm also going to offer a 45-minute one-on-one. It's going to be a very focused session, right? And so this is the
Mhm.
workbook that comes with it, and I talk about it a little bit in the book. So in case for everyone to see,
Lifestyle
this is the
blueprint. Hmm.
yes, this is the lifestyle blueprint. So I have a PDF version that is going to be available for everyone to download and get to kind of tinker in. And what it is that it gives you 5 primary steps on how to be a better version of yourself. And it's a challenging 5 steps, but it's very simple, right? I'm going to take you to drawing out the bigger picture of what it is that you want to create, right? And identify what the type of person you have to be for that. Then let's identify some type of goals that you have to meet to be that person. Then let's go around and just strategically think about how we're going to meet those goals. And then let's set up a couple of action plans and get it done. Those are 5 steps. And I can tell you all that free of charge. The thing about it is, as you go around and you're trying to tackle it, you realize that I might need a little bit of help. Right? Very rarely do we ever find true success by ourselves. It's always a
Hmm.
community effort. It's always a community involvement. You always find a mentor or a coach or your professor from college or a best friend. Somebody always want to help you and encourage you to get to the next level. And so this book will do just that. Outside of the chapter, you get this workbook. You'll be able to identify those who can help you. You'll be able to identify what your goals are, and you will learn how to communicate your why more efficiently, better than your what.
That's awesome. The I love the fact that you're helping people not only think outside of the box, but you're helping them push themselves outside of the box. That, you
Yes.
know, the impetus to, some people call it a nudge or a kick, you know, one of the two. So Julie, let's spin our wheel and see who our lucky winner is today. Looks like Felicia Brown. Yay.
Love it.
Awesome. Fantastic. So we will definitely connect Dr. Glenn with Felicia and make sure that you've got each other's contact information. Sorry, my brain had a
Perfect.
brain hiccup in there. So
That's
thank you
all
so
right.
much for being a part of the book and for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you again to the rest of the authors. You guys are sharing an amazing amount of knowledge that I am definitely implementing right away.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. So let's see. Deb Gout, I saw your face. There we go. Awesome. You'll have to unmute yourself on your end, please. Terrific. Whoops, almost. Yay. All these buttons again. So tell us a little bit about who you are, your brief intro, and the name of your chapter, please.
Sure. So first off, thank you, Kathy, so much for the opportunity to be a part of this anthology. And you are such an amazing group of people. Sitting and looking at this group on the screen is just such a delight. So thank you all for your contributions to the anthology. I am a transformation and performance coach, and the chapter that I wrote for the book is called Big, Bold, Audacious Change. And where the book came from is really tied to who I coach. It's people who are ready for big, bold, audacious change. They're dreamers who are doers and difference makers. So that's the way I think about the people I love to work with, dreamers who are doers and difference makers. And as both a coach and as a writer of this chapter, I sort of specialize in this. I was a 30-year, I'm basically a recovering academic, 30 years in the university world. And at around 50 to 53, maybe it's a midlife crisis, I don't know, but I decided I don't want to grade any more resumes. I want to either work for the State Department or a spy agency. Because why not?
That's a great goal. Yeah.
Right? Why not? And so I applied for the State Department and a spy agency. And I got the interview for both. I got the job with a spy agency.
Oh my gosh.
So I did that for 7.5 awesome years. And I can't tell you about any of it, but it was awesome. And then right as I was turning around 60, we got the classic horrible bosses story. And I just decided I'm too old to work for horrible bosses. I'm just not going to do this anymore. So I said, I know, I want to be a magazine developer, writer, founder. So I left a $120,000 job. I literally walked away and stood up a digital magazine called Boomalolly, which celebrates life after 50. And short story, once I figured out that you don't make money if you don't know how to run a magazine, I decided, all right, what do I really want to do when I grow up? And it was like, I want to help people through these big, bold, audacious changes. So I studied to be a coach for almost 18 months. And so as a coach, I said, I want to be all about transformation, about dreams. And so that's who I am. And that's why I'm here. And I'm delighted to be with you.
It's so funny. When you and I were discussing lots of things lately, one of the things you mentioned was Seth Godin's book, The Purple Cow. How are you a purple cow?
Oh, in so many ways. First, the hips, right? The hips are very similar to that of a cow. So Seth Godin's Purple Cow, if you haven't read it, it is a cult classic in the business world, and I highly recommend it. And he talks about being remarkable. How is it that you can be remarkable? And because I've got sort of a pretty wide swath of experience, there's some other things in there. It's like, how do you help people go through change? How do you connect with people, help people connect with their passion and their purpose and their dreams? This is not purple cowish. This is cowish, right? This is cow. Design the life they want to lead and really achieve those goals. And again, nothing purple cow yet jumping out. But one of the things that I found was that big dreams, big goals, big passions are really about starting with a tiny spark and taking that tiny, tiny spark and turning it into a big flame. And the way you do that, though, you have to know what that dream is all about. You have to clearly articulate it. You have to clearly envision it. You have to see it, taste it, touch it, smell it. And then you have to build, take tiny, tiny steps toward that big change. And that's where I'm working to become remarkable. I can't
love
say
that.
I'm remarkable
Yeah.
yet, but I'm working on remarkable because, and that's what people tell me I'm good at.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the fact you're in a crowd of remarkable people in this book. Let me tell you.
Yes.
And it's fast. So tell me a little bit about the gift you have for one of our lucky attendees.
Absolutely. So it is actually called a Tiny Sparks Big Flames coaching session. And it's a 90-minute coaching session. And basically what we're going to do is see if we can help start articulating your dream. If you've got a big dream, we're going there.
So Julie, let's spin our wheel, please. Robert, I think I saw you on the call. Awesome. Yay, Robert. Congratulations. Thank you. Fantastic. So we'll connect you guys and make sure I want to hear about the spark. I want to hear how the flame grew into the spark. That's awesome. Deb, thank you so much for being a part of this the book and today's event.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. All right. Miss Rebecca Hall-Grider, come on down. Welcome. Fantastic.
Thank you. Excited to be here. An amazing lineup.
Rebecca is I call you privately, I call you my Amazon queen. You have an amazing way of marketing the books that we bring to you and helped bring this book to #1 international bestseller. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. My pleasure. And I didn't know that was my name.
Well, that's my private internal kind of.
I receive.
Awesome. Yes, you are my Amazon queen. So give us a little bit of an intro and tell us the name of your chapter, please.
Absolutely. So the name of my chapter is Staying Visible During Challenging Times. I am a global influencer, an empowerment leader, radio show host, Amazon queen, I've learned. And we really specialize in helping people be visible. It's so important for people, especially those that are hurting, that we're really easy to find. And so we help people become more and more visible.
That's fantastic. So I know you very well, but tell me a little bit about why this visibility is so important for me as an individual, for an author, how do you help people become more visible?
Sure. So this is something I personally really struggled with. And so I'm just going to share a little bit of my struggle and what I learned, because I find I'm not alone in struggling with visibility. So sometimes we feel like a best kept secret. Like we see people that we could help. Why don't they reach out to me? Why don't they know I'm here to help? I could make the difference in their life. And we hurt a little bit inside and we contract a little bit because if only they knew I could help them. And part of this is it's almost like we're waiting for a fairy godmother to bing, make us visible.
Mhm.
And suddenly they know about us. That somehow by osmosis are passing through their life, they know whatever it is our message, our gifts are. And it's not how it works. I used to want people to know that they mattered, that they are a gift, that they're absolutely needed in the world. There's no one else just like them. And we all miss out when they shrink back, when they contract. So the biggest gift we can give the world is being willing to share the gift of who we are, bring that forward. And I kept looking out in the world and seeing people that didn't know that were shrinking back, that were not sharing their gifts and their talents. And it hurts my heart. And so I finally realized, well, if I know this and there's still people that don't know it, maybe I need to be more of a spokesperson about it. Maybe visibility isn't about the spotlights and being the center. It's actually about being visible enough so that people know the message. I'm a
I love that.
spokesperson for it
Mhm.
and really taking that stand for them. So, visibility is not about the expert. It's not about us being in the center. It's about those who need you that don't know about you yet. So, let's step forward and build the bridge.
I know a lot of the conversations that we've had in the past have involved empowerment and self-empowerment of women and helping them grow their business as entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Can you share a short story about how you have seen the ability to allow oneself to become more visible, how that is parallel with that empowerment goal also that you help people with?
Sure. I'm just thinking back to when I first started sharing my story. I was very resistant. I didn't want to. I was afraid. I felt like other people were more qualified, didn't want to be vulnerable and stand in a place and expose my heart, expose my spirit, really share what mattered most to me. And yet I felt like there was someone in the audience that first time I was called to share. And every time since, there's
Mhm.
someone in this room that needs what I have to say. And if that's the case, I'm willing to step forward. I'm willing to stretch. I'm willing to be a little uncomfortable, scared at times. If it can make a difference for another, I will take that stand. And
Mhm.
I have found every time when we do that, when we share the story, it's not just one life or heart that's touched. It's far beyond what we even imagine. You never know who's in that room and who they know, and the ripple effect you create. But you don't create a ripple when you step back, when you shrink back. And that first time I shared, I was a little out of my body. I cried. I was messy and scared. I was shaking, and I shared from my heart.
I
I
love
didn't got yeah. And when I stepped off, because I got a standing ovation, I didn't see. I was a little out of my body. But when I got off the stage, there were a lineup of men and women that were impacted, and they would share how and why, and they could tell I was scared, but that gave them courage and that I cared enough, and here's what they were going to do
Mhm.
as a result of that. So every time we step forward, it makes a difference, especially when it comes from that place of I know there's someone there that needs what I have, and I'm willing to take a stand for them.
I love that. And the image that I've always had of you is someone so willing to extend your hand out and help pull
Mhm.
people into the circle and or up the step, whatever it is. There's that. I know your hand is always there, extended out to help someone pull up. So, what would you like to share as your gift with our audience today?
Well, I have two gifts. So one is listed in the chapter. If everybody reads the chapter,
Okay.
you'll see a special link and gift there that helps people connect with opportunities, those that are looking to reach more people. So I encourage you to check that out. You'll see it listed in the chapter. And can I say the name or I'll leave it
Oh,
as a
sure.
cliffhanger? Okay,
Hey.
it's called the Speaker Talent Search and it's part of our giving back to the world. So it's a gift for everybody to connect speakers with opportunities. And there's a deadline coming up. So I encourage everyone to check it
I
out.
have a couple clients I need to send that link to. Yes.
Perfect. And then today's gift for the lucky special winner is a chapter I wrote right in the beginning of my career in this space where it was, I will you? And it talks about, are you willing to bring your message forward?
Awesome. Fantastic. So let's see, Julie. Bobby Smith. I think it stopped. Yay.
Yay.
Awesome. Is it going to stop? Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for being a part of this project. Sorry, I saw my eyes bounce around a little bit. You moved. Everybody moves on my screen after you come back from the magic wheel spinning. So thank you so much. That is one of the odd things about Zoom. I'm looking at you in the eye, and I realize that you're probably looking at me through my little green dot. So either way, thank you so much for being a part of this project, for being here today. Thank you.
My pleasure and honor. Thank you for having us.
So we have Meredith McVale. There you are. Welcome, Meredith.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for being here today. So if you could share a little introduction as well as the name of your chapter.
Absolutely. My name is Meredith McVeal, and I am a money coach, a Ramsey preferred money coach. And the title of my article is Sleepless to Hopeful About Money. And it's on page 77 of the book.
Awesome. And so how long have you been a money coach?
So I began this journey, really felt led or nudged to become a money coach in the summer of 2019. So I took my training through the Dave Ramsey Corporation and became certified in October of 2019.
That's terrific. So what is the one piece of advice that you find yourself giving the most often to help your clients with their money and helping them get out of debt?
Great question. So, with 78% of people living paycheck to paycheck, that's an amazing statistic. People are in financial overwhelm. They don't know what to do first and how to pay their bills. And so when people reach out to me, I guide them through the 7 baby steps. And to answer your question, the most relevant piece of advice is to get on a budget. And a lot of people hear that word budget, there's such power in words, right? I like to think of it as a cash flow plan. Budget kind of feels like a straitjacket. A cash flow plan gives us permission to spend. So we're spending and we're telling our dollars where to go. So that's really what a budget is. And so my one piece of advice, and what my article talks a lot about, is just really giving every dollar an assignment. And if we have debt, we need to decide every month how much we can put towards the debt and what are we willing to sacrifice in order to pay off that debt and build up an emergency fund and so on and so forth. So, if you think about if you were going to go build a house, you wouldn't build a house without a blueprint. Well, this is our money that's coming into our life. And so we need to have a blueprint so that we tell it where to go. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. That's not the point. It's just to give a flow and a direction to our money. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you've gained some local media publicity lately. Not some, but quite a big, what was it, 2-3 minute on one of the local TV stations? That's pretty awesome. Can you tell us about that experience?
Absolutely. So Erin Joy, who's the lovely lady here in town that connected you and I, Kathy, initially, Rennie Knott from our local Channel 5 news affiliate had reached out to Erin and said, do you know somebody that knows about living a debt-free life? And so she recommended that he and I speak. So he reached out and he actually interviewed a couple that was working the baby steps and had paid off their debt. So when you hear the term baby steps, Dave Ramsey has a 7-step program truly to get yourself out of wealth or debt and to build wealth. And then my husband and I, so our story and the why I'm so passionate about this work, Kathy, is because when I married my now husband, he had $200,000 worth of credit card debt. Not because he's this major shopper, but because his former spouse was addicted to shopping and he allowed it to happen. So we had 16 credit cards and $200,000 to pay off. And so he and I were able to do that collectively using Ramsey's principles in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
I can understand the heartache and the stress and the sleepless nights that are caused by debt. So it just comes from a place of, oh my gosh, this is so freeing. So I was able to share that story back to the news story. And now, because of just, God is so good, we are now completely debt free, and we paid off our home in December. So he was able
awesome.
to, thank you. So he was able to share that as part of the story, just to encourage others that it is possible to live debt free.
That is amazing. So what is your gift that you're going to share today?
Well, I am going to be giving away a free money coaching session. And so what that looks like is there would be a snapshot, some paperwork that I would send to the winner, and they would be able to fill that out, and I would give them an hour Zoom call to just give them some money tips.
That's
and
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think they don't have to have $100,000 in debt, right?
No.
Right?
We have student loan debt, credit card debt, any kind of debt. It doesn't have to be, absolutely. Right. And even if you're not in debt, it can help. So yeah.
It's a great way. So Julie, I think we're ready to spin. We have Lois. I know the German pronunciation.
Excellent.
Awesome. So we will connect. And as a reminder, as I mentioned earlier, if the gift that you win is not a perfect fit, please let Julie and I know, because we will help you pay that forward if you do not know of someone that you feel could benefit from that gift. We want to make sure that we have no gift unused. So thank you, Meredith, so much for being a part of our book and being a part of today's program. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. It's an honor, really.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
You
Kimberly Whitecamp. Ms. Kim. Hi.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm so glad to see your happy face. Thank you.
I am so glad to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and the name of your chapter.
Absolutely. So I am a copywriter and marketing strategist. And what that means is I write the words that bring in the right people for your community. So I have nothing to do with the law. So basically, I'm writing what people consider marketing messages. And one of the things that I really am passionate about is making it so that marketing is not a scary thing. I work with a lot of coaches and course creators and people who are looking to build a community around what they do. And I want them to reframe the idea of what marketing is. Marketing is not you being pushy. Marketing is not something dirty. Marketing is not something that you should dread doing. Marketing is simply putting your message out there in front of people who are already looking for your help. And kind of taking that reframe and changing the way we think about marketing can change our relationship with it. So the chapter is avoiding marketing free fall. And it just kind of highlights you can do all the Googling you want about anything that you don't know about, but you never know what you don't know until you actually talk to somebody. So the story that I highlight in the chapter is one of my clients who I asked a single question. I asked one question about something I saw missing in a campaign they were about to do, and it increased their sales up to 50%.
Awesome.
So marketing is my thing, and writing the words that get your message out into the world.
Well, I know you, what do you call it? You've helped me on a couple of projects, and I greatly appreciate your input. It's always great to get that extra new eyes on a project. You've been most helpful. So how can people use their marketing to create that unique customer journey? How do you help them do that?
Yeah. So as I said, right, I view marketing as you putting your message in front of the people that are looking for help already. It's not about convincing someone they have a problem. They're already aware of that and they want your help. So marketing, just kind of remember that it's part of the process of bringing people into your world. So every interaction somebody has with you and your brand, whether that's an email, whether that's a social media post, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a podcast episode, every single time they see you is another opportunity for you to guide them on the path to working with you. And 80% of that happens before we even know that person exists, right? Because they're finding us in the wild and they're not in our world yet. So when you approach your marketing as a way to give a small taste of what it's like to work with you by putting it into your messaging. So you have to be yourself, you have to be authentic, you have to be you, because if we create marketing that doesn't seem like us, or what's really popular is you use a template, you fill in the blanks like Mad Libs, and then it sounds nothing like who you are. Right. So if you're not authentically you, then there's a disconnect and it creates a poor customer experience when people are actually ready to work with you. So using that entire process, just always have one question in mind. How can I help you? You being your ideal customer. How is what I'm creating going to help you in your
Mhm.
process of finding a solution?
How are you helping? How are you offering them relief? Yeah.
Exactly. How are you
Yeah.
offering them relief?
Yeah. So I know you've been quite helpful for me. How can you help with your free gift giveaway that you're getting ready to offer?
Yeah, so the gift I'm giving away, and I think there's another one that's going to be on that sheet, but the gift I'm giving away is a free marketing strategy session. It's an audience conversion strategy session. And my whole approach is with the audience conversion method, which takes people from strangers to loyal fans. So you'll hop on a call with me and we'll kind of walk through your marketing process and what it looks like for people to find you and get into your world, and find some areas that you can optimize to get some more people in and make sure that you're attracting the right people that are the right fit for you.
That's what we want. So Julie,
That's right.
Yeah, let's spin that wheel. Glenda Davis. Awesome. And the best of my knowledge, Glenda, I know you were on the call earlier. We're not related, not that I know of. Oh, there. Hi, Glenda.
Yeah, there she is. She's waving. And Kathy,
Yeah.
again, thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this amazing project. It's been a wonderful experience.
I'm so glad you've been a part of it. Thank you so much for being an engaging expert. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I love, let's see, Trish Hall. I am so glad that we're going to talk about joy. There you are. Awesome. Welcome, Trish.
And thank you, Kathy, for the awesome anthology. And thank you not only to my fellow contributors, because I have learned a whole lot more about each one of you, and that is fabulous. And I have a bunch of friends on here.
Awesome.
And so far they're doing really well winning things.
Awesome.
So
so tell a brief little intro, and what was the name of your chapter?
Okay, name of the chapter is The Art of Living Spiritually, and it's all about connecting with the truth of your being. As for me, I am just insatiably curious, and through the many, many years of my life, I have managed to create a collage of a lot of different experiences. And one of the common threads is my absolute passion for peace. And my passion for peace has made it so that I work with people about when they awaken to oneness. And that's key to a whole lot of what I work with. When we awaken to knowing that we are inseparably connected, that we are the expression of one divine, and it doesn't matter, the myriad paths to that divine are all perfect. And as we realize that we are one with and inseparable from one another, then we shift how we are in the world. And when we shift how we are in the world, ultimately that brings peace. So it's quite self-serving. It's like I teach a program called Infinity Circles. In Infinity Circles, we learn how to communicate and connect with people who are from very, very different backgrounds in order for us to learn directly from them how it is to be there, who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And very often our own fears, as mentioned earlier, very often our own fears keep us from those depth connections. And when we learn about really connecting with people through their language, through their experience, then we bridge that. And that's how we get to my ultimate passion of peace. But when we have that sense of community, when we have that sense of connection with neighbors that we haven't spoken with, even though we've lived there for 10 years, and then we do the initiative to make that connection, the world is a better place simply because we've been there. And so that's my intention for my life, is to get people together, to get people to recognize their own awesomeness.
Well, and it's a perfect message for today. last week, next week. uh, perfect message.
Yeah,
Reach out and connect with someone in a positive way. I think that's awesome. Yeah. And I know you have different workshops and different groups, online groups that meet. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the offerings that you have where people can take advantage of learning how to connect with other people?
Well, when Kathy and I had talked, the topic of what brings me joy, and I've just been rattling on about what brings me joy, because it's that aliveness. And so we offer workshops in this interpersonal communication and how to learn from and about people of different backgrounds, different races, different ways of being in the world. And it's all based in recognizing that the divine is expressing. And when I am able to support, and I am pleased and delighted that I'm able to do it a whole lot in people awakening to their own awesomeness, when they can learn and lean into that aspect of them that is pure, perfect spirit, then they have the power not only to arise within their life, but they start empowering other people simply by their presence. In a group last night, we were talking about how do we teach others what we would like them to know, to have this greater experience of life, to live full out. All right. And it's by modeling and by connecting and by letting other people know how absolutely magnificent they are. And it's contagious. There not only is a ripple effect, it's more like a tsunami effect, because it ripples out and becomes more and more contagious the farther it goes.
I love how you share your joy. And I know that joy is like a beacon of light for you. You lead with joy, you emote joy. And I love that how you create these programs allowing people to learn to find their joy. And I think it's truly amazing. So what is your gift that you're sharing today?
Well, I started to give 3 short sessions.
And you're free to change your mind. Yes.
So how about 2 medium sessions?
Whatever you would like. Yes.
Okay, make it 2 medium sessions.
Okay. So we'll spin the wheel twice, and while it's spinning, or then you can, once it spins, we'll better define what's included in this session. So Fazia Dean. Yay. Awesome. And the next person, Diane Nagel. Awesome.
Great.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
And so what is it that they'll be getting with
When
the medium session?
When we get the connection, I'll set up a Zoom session with them, because a lot of how we learn to connect is visual as well as auditory. We learn to listen with our hearts, not just our ears. And so when then there'll be about an hour session each.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for offering that. And thank you for being in the book and being here today.
It is such a privilege to be in the anthology with such awesome other people. Wow, what a gang we have.
What a gang we are. Yes. So I want to thank all of the authors, all of the engaging authors, for being a part of the book. And for those that could be here today, it's been an amazing experience. I'm so grateful that all of you have been a part of my life too, the past few months while we've been putting the book together. And I know we'll find great new fun things to do in the future together too. So enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and go find your joy.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Look
Thank
for the
you, thank
follow-up email.
you.
It'll have everyone's links to all of their information. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Mhm.